Hello friends, welcome back to the shop. Today is Sunday, December 30th, and it's a cold morning here in southeastern Pennsylvania. It's just about freezing, around 32 degrees Fahrenheit, but it's beautiful, clear skies and nice, beautiful, crisp morning. We actually had weather, it got up to 60 degrees on Friday, which is remarkable for December. Unfortunately, it rained all day on Friday, and if you hear that buzz in the background, we got a lot of water, and it's my sump pump dealing with some of it. Nothing I can do about that. So I hope it doesn't annoy you too much. So I've got a lot to talk about today. Enjoying, this is the 7LE 315KS, really cool shape. And I'm smoking that Pressed Haunted Bookshop that I told you about a few weeks back, and it's very good. And I'm going to give you some impressions of this later in the video. But I've got a few things that I want to talk about. First, one thing that I want to talk about first, mostly because it's somewhat time sensitive. And that is that there's going to be a giveaway today that was sort of a spontaneous giveaway that was announced on the Artful Codgers live stream last week. Yes, last week. And it's a great giveaway. There's a couple pipes in there, a lot of tobacco, some rare tobacco. Really, just a bunch of guys coming together to try to give something back to the YTPC. And that is going to occur today on Ben's channel at 3:15 Eastern time. Subtract accordingly if you're out west. West is that way, apparently. I recommend you tune in. I mean, Ben's live streams are always a lot of fun, and I'll definitely be watching. And yeah, it'll be great. It was a neat contest. Ben asked folks to send in pictures of themselves smoking a pipe in a Christmas scene, so with your Christmas tree or something like that. So I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing some of those pictures and finding out who the big winner is. So the prize packages was put together by a group of guys, and I just wanted to give them all a shout out and ask you to, if you don't already know them and subscribe to them, please go visit them and check them out and hit the subscribe button. I'll list below their names and a link to their YouTube channel. So it was myself, Ben the Artful Codger, so I'll put Ben down there, but I'm sure most of you know him. Then there was Eric Blue Collar Pipe Smoker, who has a really great channel, very nice, lively guy. I enjoy watching him quite a bit. And Pipes and Spirits Art, who I'm sure a lot of you know as well, but again, the link will be down below. Art's a great guy, very inquisitive, does experiments on pipes, on filters, things like that. Really cool channel that Art has, so I highly recommend that. And Under the Oak Tree, do I have that right? Yes, Under the Oak Tree, who you may have previously known as Joshua in the Woods, and he's a fantastic guy. If you knew him in his previous incarnation, he's just a really good guy and great fun to watch. And he had to change his channel, and he lost a lot of subscribers because of that. So go and definitely give Joshua a subscription, because you'll definitely enjoy his videos. So I'll put all those links down below. I'll put a link to the live stream if I can. I'm not sure how that works, but please check out the live stream if you can at 3:15 Eastern time today. I think you'll enjoy it. So, Pressed Haunted Bookshop. Now, I actually have been smoking this for about 20 minutes before I started the video, because I was making notes on all that I just told you. And yeah, I'm having a little difficulty talking and smoking, so give me a minute. There we go. This is that twin bore Savinelli. I don't know if you can see that. I keep saying I'm going to make a new stem for this, and I never remember to do it. So, quite a few people asked me why I would do this, why I would press the Haunted Bookshop, and it's a good question because I really like Haunted Bookshop. I mean, I think Bob Brunowski was one of the best tobacco blenders that's ever lived, and I think Haunted Bookshop is the crown achievement in his blending career. I really like Haunted Bookshop a lot, and I do not believe that you can improve on it. But as I've said many times, it really benefits from just a couple months of sitting in a jar, and so there's a melding process that goes on. And I was curious to see what would happen if it were pressed. Would that melding sort of bring it together? Would the pressing sort of accelerate that melding and bring the flavors together in a different way? Also, I was noting some similarities to Cornell & Deal's Burley Flake No. 1, and I just wanted to see if pressed Haunted Bookshop tasted like Burley Flake No. 1. And the answer to both of those questions is essentially no. So it doesn't taste like Burley Flake No. 1, and it doesn't taste like 6-month-old Haunted Bookshop either. But it was an interesting experiment because it really changed the tobacco. I mean, just 2 weeks in the press has, in my opinion, dramatically changed how Haunted Bookshop smokes. And I can't say it's changed it for the better. I can't say that I would do this again with Haunted Bookshop, but it was an interesting experiment because it's a blend that I know well, so I was able to really do the comparison without any issues or bias. So what it did, and it's really kind of remarkable. First off, it burns a lot longer, and that's probably simply because there's more tobacco per cubic inch going into the pipe because it's compressed. Of course, I rub it out, but there's always going to be a bit of compression that you don't get out. So that's the first sort of noticeable thing. But what's most noticeable is when you light this up, and I told you when I first was smoking it a couple weeks ago when I opened up the press and showed you what came out. The thing that is most notable is the Perique. The Perique really comes to the front of this blend, and it's powerful. I mean, there's a lot of Perique. If you don't like Perique, you probably won't like pressed Haunted Bookshop. It's much more prominent than it is in the blend when just the normal Haunted Bookshop. It's a very strong Perique, and I like Perique, so I'm okay with that. The other thing that happens is that all the other components do meld very nicely. It's very smooth. It's very reminiscent of Haunted Bookshop, but it loses complexity. And one of the things I like about Haunted Bookshop is the complexity. So it's good. It's a solid burley flavor. It's got that little bit of red Virginia sweetness in there, but they're together. There's no like pops of sweetness and that undertone of burley, and it's just, you got sweet burley flavor and then really heavy Perique on top. So it's really remarkable. It is different, very, very different from what I'm used to smoking with Haunted Bookshop. It's really had a huge impact. And the thing that it's made me want to do is I want to press a lot more stuff now. And of course I've got to be somewhat cognizant of the fact that I can't press every tobacco under the sun. So I don't know what my next step is. I've got some of that Virginia that everybody's been talking about, the RC15, I think it's a Stokeby. the thing that is supposed to be a close match to McClelland's Red Cake. And I've got a funny history with McClelland's Red Cake. I never liked it. I've probably smoked a pound of it in my life because people like it so much. And I keep thinking, well, I must be missing something. So I kept ordering it. I kept trying it, thinking, I can't smoke this. But yeah, over the years, I've probably gone through about a pound of the stuff, just trying to understand what people saw in it. For me, it was just very tart and very harsh, and I just never enjoyed it. Now, I'm not a Virginia guy, and I'm definitely not a McClelland guy, so that probably those two things combined, and I know McClelland and Virginia was almost synonymous there, it just didn't work for me. So, I'd much rather have some Burley. Now, I bought this stuff because I still have this illness where I have to figure out why people like this 5100 Red Cake. So I bought this, I think I said Stokkebye, actually I think it's a Sutliff match. And it's called 115RC, I think. I'll put the number down below when I'm putting the video together, in case you don't know what I'm talking about. And it does, to my palate, seem very similar to Red Cake, which means I don't like it at all. So I'm thinking of maybe blending that with some blending Perique and putting it in the press for a while and see what happens. So that might be the next thing I do. Beyond that, I don't know. We'll just have to see. I have a Burley blend that I've been playing with for a couple of years now. That, I'm not a tobacco blender. Those guys have a lifetime of experience that I'll never have. But it is fun to kind of play around, and you can buy these blending Burleys. And I bought once, I think I bought 4 ounces of every blending Burley that I could. And the reason I did that was I wanted to understand them. I wanted to, smoke them raw or unblended, and try to understand the difference between, dark brown Burley and cube cut Burley and all these. And there's a lot of Burleys actually. I think there's about 8 that I've smoked individually. So once I did that, I then had a lot of Burley, so I started to kind of mix it together and try different things and add Perique and stuff like that. So that's been a lot of fun over the years, and I've sort of been tinkering with this blend. That I've never made a bunch of it. I just make maybe a couple of ounces at a time, and I've got something that I'm very happy with now. So maybe I'll try to press that and see what happens to it. I don't know, but again, I really encourage you to try this out. Just a piece of pipe. I've got to get hockey pucks. A lot of guys recommended those. It's a fantastic idea. They apparently fit right inside the 3-inch pipe. I asked my wife to buy me hockey pucks for Christmas, and she thought I was insane. But she did go to the sporting goods store and bought me hockey pucks. Unfortunately, they were those orange soft rubber ones that are hollow inside. I think they're indoor pucks or something like that. So they won't work. We took them back. So I went off on a bit of a tangent there about pressing, but hopefully you've enjoyed the impressions of this Haunted Bookshop pressed. Again, I wouldn't do it again, but it was a really interesting experience. Nice experiment. Okay, shop update. So as you know, if you've been watching me, I've closed down pipe work in the shop, and I've been working over the past 2 weeks to try to complete a television stand that I'm building. That we used to call them entertainment centers back in the 70s and 80s. I don't know if they're still called that or not, but it's been quite a project. It's almost done. I'm just putting finishing on. There's no more woodworking to be done, And I'll put some pictures up because some folks have asked to see some in-process stuff. And of course, when it's all finished, I'll get a picture of it in place. But what you're going to see is it's going to look like there's still a lot that needs to be done, but really I just need to put the finish on and then assemble it. And I can't fully assemble it here in the basement because I won't be able to get it up the steps, plus it's going to weigh quite a lot. So even the stuff that you're going to see assembled here, I'm going to have to take apart before I get it up to the family room. But I'll show you. I think I've got 3 pictures here, and I'm looking at them. I apologize, but I want to make sure that I can talk about what you're going to be seeing when I insert these pictures. So this first picture is just a shot of the main carcass, and you can see that the top is on it. Now this is only partially finished, so there's a side panel that's completely finished in the center. That's a floating panel that had to be finished before it was put in, and all the stuff around that is just raw wood. The drawers are actually plywood drawers. There are cherry fronts that go on those, and I'll show you a picture of those in a moment. In the center there are 2 adjustable shelves that are laying down on the bottom. If you can see that, they will be spaced in that space there. The shelves are finished. The sides of that section have not been finished, and the top only has a single coat of finish on it at this point. You can see the drawer there. They're nice big drawers. They will have dividers in them that are adjustable, and I just need to cut those out of some hardboard. The dividers, I think I'll be able to put 2 in each drawer, so that we'll be able to put 3 rows of DVDs in each drawer, or other things. I mean, it doesn't have to be DVDs, and they are adjustable, so we can take them out completely and put cables in or something like that. So that's the main carcass. The next picture here are a couple of the drawer fronts, and they're just sitting up on, they're being finished. I need to put 1 more coat of finish on these guys. The lighting isn't great in the shop here, so forgive the differences in tone and stuff like that you might be seeing. You might be able to see there's 2 little holes towards the center of these boards. That's where the handles will go, and the handles, I haven't taken them out of the plastic yet, but hopefully you can see. So that's how they mount, and they're nice. They're silver and then a brown leather wrapping here, and they'll be pulled like that. So I think that's going to go really well with the look of the thing. And I think the last picture is just a side shot of that side panel, which I'm quite happy with the side panels, the way they look. Again, that center panel is finished, but the outer, because it's floating, and I had to finish it before I put it in, but the outer frame is not finished. It's just the raw cherry right now. And also you can see a few of my turning tools in the foreground there. So anyway, that's what I've been doing over my Christmas vacation, and it's gone a bit slower than I had hoped, mostly because I forgot how much time finishing takes. It's funny, you just tend to forget these things, but the finish I'm using is Danish oil, so you have to put it on, let it sit, then wipe it off, and then wait. And you want to do at least 3 to 4 coats, so that each part requires 3 to 4 days to finish, because you want to give it 24 hours to cure before you put the next coat on. But it's a really nice finish. I've previously used tung oil for a lot of things, and I love tung oil, but it takes a really long time for it to polymerize and basically cure. The Danish oil cures much more quickly, and it's a really nice finish. It brings the grain out. It's beautiful stuff. So it took me longer than I had hoped, so I got 0 work done on reorganizing the shop, but I still have some time. And what I'm going to do is, I really wanted to build some new benches and stuff like that. That's not going to happen before I go back to work, because I'm going back to work on Wednesday. But I'll get the work area reorganized enough that I can get back to work on the pipes, and I hope to do that, if not early this week, or later this week rather, certainly the following week. And it's important that I do that because I currently have, I think I've got 15 14 pipes lined up right now that folks have sent me. It's funny that from the time I announced that I was going to be shutting work down, I think I got more requests for, for work than I've seen in the previous 3 months. So I'll have to remember that next time business is slow. I'll just say that I'm stopping all work and see how that goes. But I'm looking forward to getting back to it. You know, I love working on pipes, and I've got some really nice ones to work on for you guys. So that's it. I've gone quite long here. Hopefully you found this interesting. Again, I've really enjoyed experimenting with the Pressed Haunted Bookshop, but probably wouldn't do it again. Don't forget to check out the live stream today for The Artful Codger, and please go visit the guys that I'm going to link in the description below, and give them a subscription, because they're all good guys and they're doing a good thing for the community. They deserve your support. So with that, my friends, I'm going to call this to a close. Oh, Happy New Year. That's just a few days away, and I almost forgot. Have a very Happy New Year. I will not talk to you again until after the New Year. So I hope you all have a great time. Be safe. You know, no drinking and driving and all that bad stuff. Just stick to the good stuff, and take care of yourselves and those close to you. And until we speak again, I will look forward to talking to you all again very soon. Goodbye now.